auction clearance rates are coming down. There's going to be a time where business isn't as easy as what it has been for the last 2 years. And those people who aren't focused on building a referral-based business or haven't been focused on building those relationships over the last couple of years are going to be caught, right? So I love the saying that we'll see who's been swimming naked when the tide goes out, right? So, and for you, we want to make sure that it's not you. So one of the things that we need to do if we want to have a referral-based business, we need to know who and how to target people to, one, get client referrals and repeat business from clients, but also to get introductions, because building referral partners takes time. It's a bit like farming. You plant the seed and it takes time. So if you haven't been doing these things and it hasn't been part of your process to generate and build referral partner relationships, then it's time to start, because if business turns, and not if, when business turns and it becomes a little bit harder for you, you need to have that sales focus, and you need to have that focus on relationships and adding value to people. All right, so let's have a look at, well, if I want to build this referral-based business and I don't know where to start. So maybe it's you, or maybe you've got people, new brokers within your business that are coming to you and asking, hey, I really want to get started, I really want to establish, I want to take my business to the next level, but I don't know how. So I've created a tool. It's called the Referral Business Builder. Just comment in the chat, builder, if you want a copy, and I'll make sure we get you a copy over in terms of a PDF. So it'll give you these strategies that we're going to talk about today to allow you to focus on the ways that you can generate and the areas that you can think about in your business and see how you're capitalizing on these different areas, right? So the first thing we're going to talk about is the top 10 areas where you can focus your business in terms of getting client referrals. So if we look at it, and I've got this split the wrong way, but let me just, that way, that works better. So if we look at it, the top 10 ways to focus on client referrals is to focus on the lowest hanging fruit, right? Is the people who already know you, like you, and trust you, right? So they're the best place to start, right? So start with your existing customers. The best businesses and some of the biggest businesses that I work with, some of my elite clients, 80 to 90% of their business comes from repeat and referral business. So if you want to, the number one source that you can focus on is that. Second place is, if you've worked in corporate or you've worked in bigger sort of organizations and businesses, I find a lot of the brokers that I work with, their former colleagues is really a big. Someone that brings to mind used to work for the federal police and got a lot of his business through the federal police, right? So then the next thing is looking at your friends, your relatives, and your neighbors. The law of 200 says that you know 200 people that you could invite to your wedding. And this is great for newer brokers who are starting out. So maybe you've got newer brokers joining the team, or you're a newer broker. Think about those people that you know, right? So think about the ways, and I did a live video last week in terms of some of the ways that you can ask for referrals, right? And so with these, your people, think about not only those people, but who's in their sphere, who's the 200 people that they know as well, because there's potentially 200 by 200, we're looking at 4,000 people potentially within the networks, their networks as well. So everyone that you need to know is sitting within those networks, right? So think about how you can get some warm introductions to the people that they know, because your friends are people that want to see you succeed. If you ask for help, then they're likely to give it, and especially if you're passionate about what you do and passionate about growing your business. So that's the next area, right? So then looking at the people that you've already spoken to and you've spent the marketing dollars on, and they've come to you, right? So they could be people that are currently in your pipeline, which are your current prospects, or they could be people that you've spoken to years ago, right? But when you get a lead, of those leads, 50% probably won't do anything and probably won't act straight away. Probably 15% of the remaining leads will do something straight away. Therefore, 85% of those leads is going to take some sort of time and nurturing for you to be able to do business with those people. And it could be a timing perspective, not on your behalf, but on their behalf. We can't assume that because someone's picked up the phone, they're ready to go, or because they've responded to a marketing message. People are on their own timelines. So we've got to respect that and respect where they are at the buying process and nurture them along. So current prospects, and also prospects that you haven't been in contact for a while. And we've got some great ways in the program that you can actually re-engage with these particular prospects as well. Another great way to get business, believe it or not, is through your competitors, right? So the banks, you think of how restrictive some of the bank's policies are, and obviously you've got access to numerous lenders that fill niches that they can't fill, right? And again, you can, at the same time, you can refer a number of clients and things back for standard banking that some of the lenders that you work with don't offer, right? So there can be a real win-win with your competitors. So, and then other brokers, right? So other brokers may focus predominantly on equipment or focus predominantly on commercial. For my sake, I was predominantly focused on residential, right? So equipment finance and commercial finance was not something, an area of business that was in my wheelhouse, because I had more than enough business coming in from a residential perspective, right? So it creates opportunity to build relationships with other brokers, whether they be equipment and commercial, and you can, work on the law of reciprocity, where they send you the resi stuff and you send them the equipment or the commercial. Works really, really well. And I was speaking to a broker the other day. She loves doing self-managed super fund deals, and a lot of the brokers in her area were referring those business because they viewed that business as too hard, right? Some brokers will view other things like construction or non-conforming, the alt doc or low doc loans. They won't want to do that. It's not business that they're comfortable doing. So they will look to outsource that to other brokers. So the other areas that you can look at is things like sporting clubs, right? What are the groups that you're a part of? Is it your kids' sporting teams? Is it, are you part of like a church group or some other sort of interest or hobby? One of my clients at the moment, he's part of a car club, and expensive cars and property investors tend to go hand in hand. So he gets quite a bit of business through the car club, right? But it's something that he's interested in, and some of my other clients are part of community groups, like part of, say, a Nepalese community group, and they'll receive lots of business through being parts of those groups. So, and then that leads us to the next point, which is, all right, there's groups in person, but there's also groups, in Facebook and LinkedIn. I know some of the top brokers in the industry, they either create their own groups, special interest groups, and run them, whether that be first home buyers or, again, a niche based on their own community or their own interests, and then, or the locality. And then this will allow them to generate lots of business through those Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups. So that's another area where you can source for clients and client referrals. And plenty of successful businesses have built their business off the back of these things. The other things that you can do is present yourself as an expert, right? Present yourself as an expert, appear on as many podcasts as you possibly can, or it's very easy to create your own podcast. I create the $1 Billion Broker podcast if you want to go check that out. Articles, where can you add value? So I know LinkedIn newsletters is somewhere that's great, where people can subscribe to your newsletters, or you can potentially write articles and have them published in certain publications or on other websites to add value, because people are always looking for really, really good content. Right, so that's tip number 8, and looking at number 9 in terms of who are the connectors that you know. Who are the connectors? Who are those industry leaders? Who are those people that they can influence, right? So whether they have a large following and they're leaders of an industry group, or maybe they've got a big influence in an area on social media. I know one of my elite clients recently did something with a big property investment group that's got, something like 40,000 followers, and got access to their database and was able to run some seminars, and the leads that they generated, they were able to then follow that up, and by linking in with other sort of industry leaders. The last part is around business groups. And I know my brother and I were part of business groups for many, many years. The one that I was part of was called Business Referral Group. I know there's BNI. There's a number of others that you can look at. There's Chamber of Commerce's. There's a numbers of different areas where you can get out and you can do some form of networking. And this is another great way to meet people. And again, you're not looking to meet everyone. You're just looking to meet a couple of people, and you're looking to meet the right people that have the ability to refer business to you. So they're just sort of top 10 areas where I've seen that have worked for either myself or for other brokers that you can look at. The next thing, if you want to get referrals from referral partners, what are 4 strategies that you can look at to get referrals from referral partners? So if we look at that, how to get introductions to referral partners without cold calling, right? So we want to get warm introductions. So the first step is, and again, you're going to call your existing clients, and we said that law of 200. And within that 200 people that they know, there's potentially some professionals that you need to know. So whether that's accountants, solicitors, financial planners, builders, property managers. One of my best referral sources was a family law solicitor, right? So solicitors, who is in their network that you need to know, right? So, and we're going to ask for a warm introduction to the clients. Next thing to get warm introduction we can do is we can make it part of our process. All right, so you think about the people that we come in contact through our loan process. And if we make it part of our process to be able to contact those people throughout the process, then that's going to lead us to have a warm introduction, because at the end of dealing with us, they'll be more likely to refer business to us. So think about that, and think about how you can get them to refer you business. That's a big one. So real estate's accountants are at the front end. The back end are going to be solicitors, accountants, property managers, etc., etc. The next way, and through the pandemic, I launched my coaching business through the pandemic, and started in February. Got back from 6 months overseas when I travelled after my mortgage business. Started the mortgage business, and I thought I would grow my business through speaking and going around to PD days, but that didn't work out. So I had to focus on using a platform like LinkedIn. And LinkedIn's a great way because you can target potential referral partners, have that warm introduction, you can provide value, provide content. So by the time you come to reach out and introduce them, they're familiar with you and what you do. So that's a great strategy and a great way to generate warm introductions. The final sort of strategy is, and one of the things that I'm big on that I teach in the program, is having an annual review process. And part of that annual review process is asking better questions, right? And through that annual review process, for people to live their best life, they're going to need a great team of advisors. And maybe they have some advisors already. Maybe they have an accountant, maybe they have a financial planner, maybe they have a buyer's agent or people that they're using already within the business. So if we can use that platform to ask better questions and get referred to the people they know, again, make it part of our process, then this is going to lead to a warm introduction that will lead you on to getting a good meeting for referral partners. We cover the whole process, the whole 90-day journey in the program around how you go about step by step, the scripts, the dialogues, everything that you need to cover to build these referral programs in your business as well, and more deeper things, and obviously that accountability that comes with it. But I hope this has been really helpful for you in terms of being able to identify the different areas that you can focus on, especially as the market begins to slow over the next year or so, that you're really focused on maintaining and your level of activity increases, and you really focus on getting new clients, new referral business, and really creating deep relationships with referral partners. I'm Ross from The $1 Billion Broker, and look forward to catching you next time.